As we go to where the situation on the ground in the mineral-rich east of the Democratic Republic of Congo is developing quickly. The Rwandan-backed rebel group known as M23 are advancing on Goma, the biggest city in the east. Eyewitnesses there report gunfire, explosions ever closer to the centre. The city's airport closed in the past few hours by Congolese authorities. Flights cancelled, UN non-essential staff ordered to leave, and international embassies, including the US, British and French, already urging citizens to leave. 400,000 people have fled since the start of January, and the conflict's intensified in the past 48 hours. The UN Security Council meeting now, and its chief, Antonio Guterres, has called on Rwanda to withdraw its forces supporting the M23 group. Amidst news this afternoon, too, that Rwandan drone strikes have hit targets around the besieged city of Goma today. And there are international peacekeepers there. They have a mandate to support the Congolese government. 13 killed since Friday. And those fleeing the city in the past few hours have been speaking to reporters.
We are at the border with Rwanda, and I'm going to cross to the other side to see if we can find a safe place, because at the moment there is no security in the city of Goma.
Look around you, it's a mess. We're suffering a lot. People are fleeing everywhere. We don't know where to go anymore because we've been fleeing for so long. I've fled from several places: Kiwanja, Rutshuru, Kibumba. I've never stopped running, and even today the war is catching up with us. Now we have nowhere to go.
For context on what's going on, this has been a long-running conflict which has intensified and calmed over the past decade or so in an area close to the Rwandan border. These are live images right now at the UN Security Council. We're going to bring you developments as we hear what's being suggested, what's being proposed. The area, as I say, close to the Rwandan border, Goma was briefly taken by the rebel group back in 2012 before being pushed back after 9 days. But the M23 group is reported not to have held as much territory in the east as it does now. And the authorities in the DRC saying that they have redoubled efforts to support the city. The group took the strategic town of Sake, close to Goma, in North Kivu on Thursday, and moved towards Mubambare, which is where UN peacekeepers known as MONUSCO have their base. Well, let's talk to the UN mission. As I say, it's MONUSCO, the UN Organization's stabilization mission in the DRC. And from Kinshasa, let's talk to Khadi Lo, a spokesperson. Great to have you on the program, Khadi, first of all. Let's start with just telling me what the situation is with your peacekeepers at the moment.
MONUSCO is deeply concerned by the escalation of violence in Eastern DRC. In recent days, 3 of our peacekeepers have lost their lives. 2 South African and 1 Uruguayan tragically died while implementing MONUSCO's mandate to protect civilians. We are supporting the Congolese armed forces and the mission deployed by the Southern African Development Community. We have maintained our defensive positions in and around many areas in North Kivu to defend the city and the city of Goma, and we also supporting the deployment of heavy artillery helicopter attacks, and we are maintaining our positions and deploying our quick reaction forces to protect the city and the civilians in Goma, where many displacements are ongoing.
From the conversations you're having, Khadi, with staff on the ground in and around Goma, tell me what they're saying about the level of intensity of the fighting, how close to the city the M23 rebel groups are, and are there evacuation plans in place?
The UN has relocated its non-essential staff yesterday. Many have been relocated in remote areas and are implementing their work from remote areas. For now, colleagues are some essential staff are still in the town and doing work from there, supporting the humanitarian deployment of humanitarian aid, implementing the protection of civilian mandate, and still in the town. I don't have clear clear background for now how close M23 is, but what I can know is that MONUSCO is maintaining its posture and positions around and in the town.
Now, MONUSCO, just tell me a little bit more about the peacekeeping mission and how it works. Am I right to say you are mandated to fight alongside the Congolese Authority? And tell me about which international troops are there at the moment.
We have many contingent from Africa, from India. We have the Moroccans, we have South Africans, we have the headquarters, the actual commander-in-chief of the acting commander. The force commander is from Senegal. We have a variety of nationalities within the mission. And the mission is deployed to support the Congolese armed forces. And we also had a mandate in August to support the mission deployed by the Southern African Development Community, logistics support we're providing to SAMI DRC, which is also working together in collaboration with MONUSCO. We have a common coordination center, and we are running joint operations in and around Goma and in many other areas in North Kivu and South and Ituri. We have left South Kivu in June 2024. So our deployment is more now on North Kivu and Ituri.
So there are two missions right now, international protection missions. You mentioned the UN one. There's one that's coming from the south of Africa. I think that you talked about 3 deaths, part of MONUSCO, 9, I think, or 9 or 10 actually, from the other international peacekeeping groups, 9 South Africans. I think there was 1 Ugandan as well. Tell me about, you talk about the makeup of those on the ground in and around Goma, trying to protect the city alongside Congolese forces. In your assessment, can you make an assessment that it is sufficient to stop the city falling right now?
What I can say for sure is that we are implementing the Springbok 3 operation, which was launched 3 days ago to protect civilians, implement MONUSCO's mandate, and support the Congolese Army Defense Forces and SAMI DRC too. We are working closely with the Congolese army. We are implementing our mandate to protect civilians and doing what we have been mandated for.
Why now, Khadi? Why do you think this is suddenly intensified again in this month? What is sustaining as well and empowering this group? I hear it's partly down to the towns it's recently captured, including Sake, the revenue as well made from the taxes on mineral-rich mining. What's your assessment?
What I can say is that there have been reports from the group of experts that have substantiated the support given by a neighboring country to the M23. And today we have a statement that came from the Secretary General of the United Nations that calls for immediate cease of hostilities and withdrawal from occupied areas by M23, but also urges the Rwandan Defense Forces to end all support to the M23 and withdraw from Congo. That may be a beginning to explain what's going on now.
Which you refer to neighbouring country. We're hearing today as well about drone strikes from Rwanda hitting targets near Goma. I don't know if you can tell us anything about that you're hearing from that, if that is the case. And also just your assessment on what right now, if anything, will make a difference on the ground.
On that, I don't have clarity. I cannot be affirmative on the drone strike. I don't have any clarity on that. What I know is that we are on the field, we are supporting the Congolese Defense Forces to protect Goma and protect civilians in North Kivu and as well in Ituri, where we also deployed.
It's good to talk to you, and thank you for the update. As you say, this is fast moving, but the information, as you know, so far. Khadi Lo, thank you, spokesperson for the UN mission based in Kinshasa.